Once you push both of the buttons, then it happens. But it was international. Oh, hey, yeah. So that's how it goes. Macaroon Day.
Push the buttons.
Welcome. Yep. Pushing buttons. You roll the dice. You move your mice. That's how you win at the game of life. You're welcome, everyone. Hey, it's the Munzee Videocast. We're at number 18. It is March 20th, 2015. I'm Rob.
Scott.
Matt.
Awesome.
Not Dylan.
That's
not
right.
Dylan.
Dylan's not here. Dylan is actually out there watching March Madness and enjoying his, let's call it a day off. His mom's in town, so you got to hang out with your mom when she travels in.
That's right.
He worked last Saturday, Sunday. So did Matt. But
Matt's here.
Matt's taking off various other amounts of time, let's say. Plus, Matt is also on, he's on spring break.
Yeah.
So what better thing to do on spring break than to work?
Than to hang out with Rob.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Do
true.
you think after 72, 90 hours of hanging out with Rob, you'd get tired of it? You don't.
Oh, no,
Hey,
you don't.
every now and then it's still party time. Oh, good grief.
It's party time all the time with Rob.
Oh, man. Unless you're watching March Madness in another office and it's really loud and I can still hear it, and then I start assigning tasks.
Yeah, Rob is very anti-March Madness.
March
not
Madness.
soccer.
Never heard of
Not
it.
soccer. World
If
Cup you're all about.
If you're international and you have no idea what March Madness is officially, and like you don't watch any of our stinking college basketball games over here, congrats. I'm right there with you. That's fantastic.
It's pretty awesome. It's an amazing sporting event that lasts like an entire month.
Whatever. Boring.
March Madness that ends in April.
I'll watch the Elite Eight and maybe the Final Four and the final.
Yeah, the championship.
Right.
game.
There you go.
Gotta-
That.
But yeah, Matt-
you have to watch Kentucky win it.
Yeah,
So.
Matt's big Kentucky.
Scott, who you rooting for?
Well, A&M's still in the NIT, so maybe we have a chance. Dylan is obviously a big KU Kansas fan, so
Yep.
Boring. Don't even like talking about it.
Rob's just done with it.
well, sports
It's
talk
2 days
radio
in,
time is
Rob's
done.
Oh, good. Sports radio is over. So let's talk about what Matt did earlier this week. We actually had a comment from someone that the Munzee podcast site was having some issues. Sent that to him, and then there you have it.
Yeah, so it actually wasn't. The site was there and it was working. We updated it last week, I guess.
Yeah, a week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we made some server changes, and doing so kind of got rid of all of our data. So I went back and put up the past 3 that hadn't been put live. So they're up there with audio, and now it's searchable in iTunes again.
Yeah, you could listen to us.
So you're welcome, Shane, I believe. Shane was the first person I saw to comment. You know what he actually said? He did not care at all about watching 3 guys on a video. He just wanted to listen to it on audio. So you're welcome, Shane.
Yeah, it's up there. It's working.
I totally understand him not wanting to watch
Well,
us.
yeah.
I don't even want to look at you.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Most days. That's why your office is not where mine is.
Yeah.
It
So
works
we're
out
all
well.
separated now. This is when we're all together. So.
That's right.
It works out good. So so we are back from South by Southwest, as you know if you watched the video, Shane.
Of us
Last
in
week.
the hallway.
That was really wild. It was actually really fun. We sat out in the hallway. We did the video. We had people walking by and asking, or not asking. They just walked by and looked at us really weird.
Yeah.
Sitting there holding mics.
You would
and
think
it
at
was
South by
fun.
Southwest, that's pretty common
Well,
to see
so-
like podcasty and stuff going on.
Well, that was weird. Us sitting there was weird, but walking around facing a tablet at someone and recording them isn't.
Yeah,
apparently.
See, if you're videoing
Meerkat.
with a phone, a tablet,
Meerkat.
something there. Now I know what that means.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
Live broadcasting. So it was fun. We had a good time.
It was. We
Um,
learned a lot. Had
Got to wear our new
Yeah.
Eventy hats. That
Which we
check it
all-
out. We all 3 have Eventy
and all
hats
different
on right
ones.
now. Yeah.
Although there is the 4th one,
there is a 4th one.
the light blue. I can't tell if yours is the
Flat
light
bill?
blue
No,
or
this
dark.
is the light blue. The other one's a little bit darker, but it doesn't have Eventy on the back because it was supposed to be a snapback.
Oh.
Because Dylan really wanted a snapback,
Oh
did not get his snapback.
no, he got.
Not
It was
very
more
happy.
like a big, huge flat bill.
But
Interesting.
yes, we all have new hats. We all had a lot of fun. We met some really cool people. Had got to play with virtual reality and augmented reality. Got pictures of it. That was fun.
Yeah.
We played with a knight that someone had drawn.
Swing a sword knight,
Ah.
defend a castle.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to. Yeah, we'll have to see
upload
if
that
we
picture
can
or
do
something.
that. Yeah.
I
That'd be
have
fun.
the coloring book with me.
See, there you go. It's,
Was it like an Oculus?
No, it's all built on daiquiri system.
It's an
So
app-based.
daiquiri AR stuff
that's what you
that
were
pops
saying.
up on your
Oh,
phone and
yeah,
everything.
yeah, yeah.
So cool. Lots of fun. We really had a good time.
Munzee 4.0.
Like I said, yeah,
augmented
yeah,
reality.
there you go. 4.0, jumping on past what we're working on currently. So we're back.
I'll help you out.
Lots of fun. Well, I was kind of looking at it, so
This
you
one's
could
a little
too.
bit bigger.
Oh, there's yours too. We got notes on both sides.
Look at that.
Rob's getting
Prepared.
kind of old. Rob's getting old, so
Look, it's zoomed out weird. No, it's all good. So welcome back to us. We are glad to be here.
Welcome back to us.
Seriously, because it was a good time, but
it looked fun.
it's always good to be
I held
back
down
here.
the fort.
Yeah.
You
So
did.
Scott did a
Burned
good
down.
job.
Much appreciated. We missed you on the podcast
We
last
did.
week.
Well, they did.
Or
But
something.
there were only 2 mics. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you kind of in the middle, kind of
yeah.
reach over every once in a while.
Well, so we were obviously, on the road, and so I couldn't take all of the equipment because I'd already took like 4 bags.
It's true.
So we had 2 mics and a recorder that I was able to plug into the computer. So
It worked well.
Fancy.
I was
It did.
impressed that he could rig it on the road like that, and it came through well.
Cool.
So hopefully you enjoyed. So we're going to talk today about the new perspective March edition, because we've kind of we have the new year, new perspective, and so we're 3 months into the new year, right? So it's time for us to kind of revive, I suppose, and we've done things, we've changed things up through clans and through all kinds of different channels, but now let's talk about the March version of the new perspective. And the first thing, let's kick it over toward Eventy, where Dylan is kind of taking the lead on Eventy, and we've been spending a lot of time approving pictures and really coming up with a lot of things. And so we spent the first 6 weeks playing a game every single week that would kick off Monday and it would end Friday. We heard from a lot of players, hey, it would be great if we could play on the weekend. There was no way that we were going to run a 7-day. We were.
That's a lot of
just
clues
not-
to come up with.
Right, we were just
Well-
not going to run a 7-day long event ourselves. If someone wanted to, they could, but not us. So instead, came up with sort of, hey, why don't we switch gears a little bit? And so we're changing over a new perspective on the Eventy deal so that we can run it on the weekend. Looking forward to it. We've had some good feedback there, and people that are excited about it. It is live right now, so if you're not playing Eventy, but you are listening to the videocast live or the podcast later, then check that out, eventyapp.com.
Yeah, it's
And,
called, what's it called? Like Weekend Warrior.
This one's,
Weekend
Weekend Warrior,
Weekend Warrior.
number 1.
that,
Number 1. Exactly.
So yeah, so we're gonna try it out. Hopefully it goes well.
Yeah,
If
Weekend
it does,
Warriors.
awesome. If it doesn't, then hey, good news. We can change things up as many times as we need
There
to.
you go.
we're trying to benefit everyone here. We want to make sure that we have time to cater to both Munzee and Eventy and everything else that we have kind of going
Yeah.
on. And doing one on weekend allows us to do that during the week, allows you guys to get some work done during the week, and allows you to have fun on the weekends without kind of impeding too much on your
Yeah,
lives
and
as well.
Munzee is the most popular during the weekends. I mean, all the numbers that we see are busier
Yeah.
during the weekend. So hey, you play Munzee and then you play Eventy and kind of both, and make it more fun instead of, oh, I'm at work and I need to take a picture of a red sock. What do I do? But now you're at home, and if you have red socks, you take a picture of a red sock.
If you don't, go to the store.
There you go.
There you go.
Or dye your sock, or
Yeah.
By
Be
accident.
creative.
or on purpose,
accidents, right? Put it, you want the one sock in the red load, and there you go. Red
there
sock.
you have it. Yep. Red shirt,
Yeah.
white sock. Now you have red sock. Or pink
Okay.
sock.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Seuss.
Close enough. Yes. Red sock.
One sock, 2 sock,
There you
red
go.
sock, blue sock.
So not only have we made that change in Eventy, but we've also got quite a few changes and things that are happening in the Munzee app, or better yet, in the whole Munzee world. And one of those kind of ties in with a few questions that we see. And what we see kind of going
Wow, we have
on
lots of
here
questions.
is, we've got quite a few. And a lot of them are about badges, which is fantastic. More than happy to talk about badges. So this one, and kind of a question about it. So Gelada asks, with the new app version, and then in parentheses, still waiting. Thank you. Will there be a possibility to see one's own Munzees in maintenance mode? Honestly, we are still working on sort of what the framework and building out what that new app version, which will be 3.0, is going to be. And that's actually kind of the next point in the notes, is talking about not only what's going to be in that, but sort of a new perspective and what we've done, and kind of a change in not direction, but just we've got the 2 point whatever it is, 2.7, 2.3,
I think it's the newest or whatever.
Right. However, all the app updates work. So we've got that one, and everyone's noted, hey, there hasn't been an update for a long time. Correct. Because
for months.
If you go out into the field, the question is, can you Munzee? And the answer is yeah. Unless you're on a Windows phone, and we know that there's some things there, but guess what? We don't have a Windows developer, and there isn't a plan for that. So there you have it. We've said that many times though. So it's not that we have stopped completely with 2 point whatever updates, but we are focused completely forward, moving toward what is coming. And that is sort of on Gelada's question, where it is about, what's coming in the future. And as part of that, we've actually got a new app that has been in beta testing, which Brad's asking about. So for those people who have no idea where this question that Brad has asked is coming from, it is coming from a standpoint of there are less than 200 beta testers who actually know what's going on in our beta app. So I'm going to click a button that won't answer the question, but we are going to talk about it, Brad. So
don't worry, Brad. Don't freak out.
Yeah, not a personal deal. That's just me saying we're on it.
Right.
So with what we were calling Points app, and Scott and I have talked about this on the Videocast many times before, is he was calling it the Points app. I had a name, Munzee Mate and Munzee Buddy, and we've called it all kinds of different things.
Before we get there, let's...
Oh, here we go.
Well, the 2.0, I just want to talk a little bit about the 2.0 stuff. It's kind of, 2.0 stuff's been around for about a year and a half, and it's just become very tedious to update. To be honest, we've had a few people look at it, and it's just kind of spaghetti code, and Munzee's progressed heavily since we actually released the app.
Do you have a mute button over there?
I think I do.
Oh my gosh.
No, I muted
myself. All right, there you go. Oh, you muted yourself.
I think I muted Scott.
Okay, well, we'll just let him look at his mic.
He's Scott.
Okay, good. Mute Scott. So we are working out that stuff to make it happen. Scott's going to go back to telling us about the 2.0 stuff and why we're not updating it, even though really we're moving forward.
New perspective, and the goal is to, and I was going to tie it to where you were saying with 3.0, where don't worry, I'm not revealing secrets. No secrets yet.
Okay, go for it.
But definitely where we want to get to a point where we can easily update the new app and stuff. What are you typing now?
Nothing. It's all good. We're just going.
Continue talking. Continue talking.
Oh, word. So
yeah, no worries.
Now I see something.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay,
go for it.
Okay, so 3.0. Let's talk about it.
Oh, we're going to talk about it.
Well, let's talk about
kick it off. We're talking about Z app, because we're going to change the name from what Scott's had Points and what I've called Munzee Mate to Z, and that's because it's a combination of what he's done and what I really wanted to happen as well.
So again, the last few podcasts, we had the Points app. Kind of it was an experimental thing to kind of see how many points you've gotten in the past few days, and we released a beta out there, and people loved it. All the feedback we got was how awesome this is, et cetera, and then kind of talked with Rob, kind of talked with everyone on the team, and said, the two biggest gripes that people have with the current app is how many points do I have and converting. So we said, we'll just make the app kind of do both, tell you how many points, and then talk to you about converting. And that's what the app does. But we said, well, we can't just call it points because it does more than points.
Well, we talked about this on the way back from South by Southwest.
Some of us didn't go South by Southwest.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. Right.
But
so we had
points. It does a lot of different things, different points in the Munzee, and we almost came around to the idea of calling it points, and we had Rob almost on the fence there for a little bit.
But and then do you want to tell him some failed names or?
No. Well, Tot. How about that?
Tot.
T-O-T-T. All the big letters. T-O-T-T.
Which is a terrible name.
Scott's Tot. So no good. Like a little boy. Toddler. You've got a Tot. So not a tater tot.
So it's called.
It rhymes, man.
So the new app is called what?
The new app's called Z. So it is Z app. because what we're doing is we're actually taking the Munzee app and we're going to take pieces of it. So guess what? We took Munzee and we took part of that word Z. So it's part of it. I don't know. We've been kind of kicking around what it is. I'd like to say that it's going to be what it is and what it is going to be. It's going to continue to grow. But what it is it's sort of like Munzee Pro or Munzee Advanced.
Right.
The things that are part of Z app are not like you just got your neighbor to start playing and they care about capping 10 Munzees and they move
unless
on.
they're going for a badge or something like that.
But that is
Right.
an advanced person
That's
already.
advanced.
So see, that's a great example. If they go
Right.
for 10 and they're like, wow, that was fun, yeah, and they don't plan to really play too
Right.
much more in the future, then guess what? They need the Munzee app and that's it. They need the ability to cap. They're probably not going to deploy. They're not going to do a whole lot of other things. They're going to look at the map. They're going to look at maybe a list. All they care about doing is getting out there and playing. They don't care about how many points they have in the day. They don't care about the ability to convert. They don't care about badges.
They just want to see where the
pins
closest
and-
Munzees are and capping them and
all
that.
they
And
want to do is play.
And that's what it is. I mean, this kind of allows us to really quickly develop new features while kind of continuing to develop 3.0.
You're right. So as we've made it to this point, what we've done is we've got beta testers who are working and seeing just the points app. And so now we've
Well, it's not the
expanded
points
beyond,
app.
well, they were
You can't-
seeing just
that's right.
the points app, but we've expanded beyond only points. And so we've changed that name to Z. And so there will be an update coming for the beta testers that shows that it is in fact called the Z app. And when it goes live, and honestly, we're hoping that it goes live here in the next 14 days. So I won't even say 1,000 hours.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's go ahead and tell you we're
it's-
looking at it being live, early April, and as early as 7 to 10 days from now.
The
We're real
latest
lucky.
beta we put out is kind of the gold release in the software world. Is kind of the final, like, unless something's really broken, this will be it. So
Fantastic.
it gives a weekend for the people that are part of the beta test to really test it out, make sure everything kind of works, make sure we don't get crash reports. If you have the app, make sure you use the feedback function so that we could make it better. And then hopefully Monday or Tuesday, kind of make sure all the artwork, work with Dylan on kind of all the wording and stuff like that, and then push it to the App Store and Play Store.
Boom.
There is no Windows Phone version.
Mm.
So it's only iOS and Android. So it will be a free app. So
Yeah.
and
That's the best part. Okay, so here's
right.
here's Aaron's cornerstone to Munzee. All right,
Okay.
Aaron, main founder was.
Oh, I thought
big deal.
like
No, Aaron's cornerstone to Munzee. A big deal for him was always that we would have a free app. Well, guess what? We've gone beyond just a Munzee app, and so now we have an Eventy app. It's free.
Yeah.
It always will be. We have Z app, right? And so Z app is also going to be free. There
Right.
isn't any reason for us to have an app that people have to pay for. This is like I said, Munzee Pro, Munzee Advanced. And so certainly we could, hey, everybody, you can pay 99 cents in order to get all of these features, but that defeats the purpose of the game. So always will be free.
Yep.
We hope that everyone can appreciate that. We have many features that will be added to it. Guess what? We actually don't need suggestions because we have plenty.
There
Isn't
are
that
plenty
weird?
of it. Yes.
So-
a nice long list, and
We-
we're
But
going right.
my thing is, version 1.0. Let's get version 1.0 out there and then kind of continue and get feedback and grow from there.
Absolutely. That's how we work. We're a small team still. No matter how big we may grow, we have 8 people on site that work on Munzee, that partially work on Eventy, that partially may work in the marketplace. And so, yeah, with that limited team still, then we do the best that we can to put out as many updates. So to those of you asking about updates, unless there's something major going on, we're moving forward toward 3.0. So let's talk now, not about Z app, but switch over a little bit toward 3.0.
The holy
And
grail
so,
of Munzee.
Right. If we are talking about Z app, then guess what that means? If we're taking like conversions and we're taking points and we're putting some other things that may be in the current app, if we take those and we add them into Z app, then what we create is we create like a lighter easier to use version of Munzee. So instead of coming up with doing this sort of backwards, let's say, instead of coming up with Munzee Lite and then Munzee, we're doing it in a different direction. We're taking Munzee Pro and putting it out as Z, and we're going to make the Munzee app itself 3.0. We're going to make that an easy to use. You talk to somebody at a park and they're like, oh, I want to play. Great. You don't have to stand there for 25 minutes and explain to them why there are 75 different pin types on the map.
Yeah, I mean,
we've all experienced that, you know?
Yes. I mean, the goal of Munzee 3.0 is to make it where it's much simpler for anyone to use.
Right.
That everything will be explained and the user interface will be easy to understand. And kind of what Rob was saying, where it's kind of the Facebook mentality where they have their main app, but then, if you want to do photos, it's a separate app, or messaging, it's a separate app. So kind of the Z app is kind of our kind of attempt at that, where it's like Rob said, kind of more the advanced, I want to know how many points I got today, what special captures, I want to be able to convert, stuff like that, that new users would just not understand that. Would just say, I just captured Munzee, so I got 5 points. While, people that want to earn 10,000 points in one day, or 20,000, or get 100 greenies in one day to get
keeping track of your process of your progress.
Right, exactly.
It really is. That's the purpose of what we're doing.
Exactly. So I mean, it's something where, and it allows for us to have much quicker development and get updates much faster. One thing about the Z app is that when we come out with new kinds of Munzees, they'll automatically be there. We don't have to push an app update, which is awesome. It'll only allow you to convert to Munzees that you can. So if you click on like a virtual, it won't show a hotel because you can't convert a virtual hotel. So it only show the ones that you can't convert to, and try to be as kind of easy on the user as possible.
Love it. That is definitely the goal. Let's call that new perspective, right? I mean, we're going from what we've had and what we've always used into, you kind of said it, that whole Facebook mentality. Now, does that mean we're going to run 6 different apps? No. Depends on which one of us you ask, but the answer is no. So we all agree that no, we are not going to have
I mean,
mega number of apps,
and certainly not for a while. I mean, there's no,
we're not going to have, not for a while.
We're not going to have like one. We're not going to do like one app for one specific thing. Like, there's not going to be a closest Munzee that the only thing it shows you is the closest Munzee.
You won't have to open 3 different apps to play, or 4 or 5, 6 different apps to play.
The goal is to have the
Munzee points app.
The Munzee app, the main Munzee app, you can do most of it. Like the Z app, you're not going to be able to convert or deploy, or you're not going to be able to deploy or capture.
No,
because that's not the point of it.
Core function in the game. Core functions in the game remain in the core app. Those functions that become more of an advanced style, that's where we're headed with them. We're headed out of the app so that we can do those things quickly. As usual with our live video cast, we get some questions, and I'm real sorry that we won't be able to answer all of them. You guys have some great ideas and suggestions. Several of them are about badges, which is awesome. Loving to have badges with different milestones and giving ideas basically right here that are good ideas, and yet they belong going through munzee.com/contact. Because if you go to munzee.com/contact, there is a suggestions page, and you can suggest 400 different badges if you would like. And then when they come out, you can take credit for it, even if we have a queue of badges that is waiting right now.
I still have to figure out about that weird badge. I still haven't figured that out.
Oh, that's right. We are still working on.
Did you guys talk about that last week?
No, because we
don't know anything about it.
Seriously.
You weren't. We might have mentioned it, but you were there, or you weren't there, so we were like, we haven't talked to Scott about it, so I don't know what's going on.
So. Okay, well, that's good to know. So we are still investigating, and so I guess there is one more thing that I'd love to talk about, and it is also something that's mentioned in our question and answer time, and that is sort of our Munzee events. Munzee events are a big, huge part of the community, and as part of sort of a smaller mission for Munzee, which is, grow the map. We've always said that, grow the map, and so that's where you get out there and you deploy your Munzees. Then there's also grow the game, and so one way to grow the game is to pitch these events and to bring in players from all over. and bring them to a location. And when they come and visit, then hey, they deploy and they cap, and everybody has a great time. I heard about an event in DC that just happened, and I haven't shown you guys this. Imagine that. But they sent me the PDF file of what they did, and it was amazing, because guess what's not allowed in DC? Physical deployments.
Right.
If you tried to deploy something on the mall, in front of the Washington Monument, or at the Jefferson Memorial, or in front of or behind the White House, shot on site. You know what I mean? So,
although they have lots of trouble with all that in the recent news, as far as people flying drones and all that.
Exactly. And then, so Rob Lines, Rob Lines is the guy who ran the event in DC, and a guy giving props because he has an awesome first name and because he did a great job. So he actually created this file, and what he did is he has a map of all the different locations all around the city where he had deployed Munzees. And because he's not able to put physical deploys there, he actually printed them on the paper. And then he has a description of the location. So it's like Washington Monument, and it gives a history of that location, a picture of the memorial or the monument, so that they actually know where they're going. You get there and you scan the Munzee. It was like, wow. So he's got like 3 around the different parts of the memorial. I saw it and just said, this is amazing.
That's really cool.
Yeah, thanks for sharing with us.
I know. Well, guess when I found out? I actually got that earlier today. So it's been running around through the event section and through the event team that's been kind of running some stuff. So
cool.
Recently we've had a couple of hiccups, and so Richard's asking about one of them, and it is something that we continue to work on. There are always issues when we have a very small team and we have a very, very limited access, part-time, off-site. I can't even tell you how important these people are, but they are not here in the office, and they do not work 9-ish to 5-ish with us. They work 2 a.m. They work 3 p.m. They work whatever time in their own time zone. And without them, we would not be able to function. And so one of those, we got Daniel Hammock, and he always loves hearing his name on here. So, hey, Daniel, he does all of our support. He's a fantastic guy. And so we have events, which are a major important part of everything.
Yep.
We've had and made some changes over the past several months, and there've just been things that have stacked up, which are called candy hearts. The candy hearts sent this overwhelming flood of events, and I tried to jump in and help out a lot, and there were a couple of things that have just fallen apart and happened. Scott was like on call, and oh my gosh, we got something going on, and seriously, how does that work out?
Well, I mean, if your boss tells you to do something, you
asks with all caps, with all caps.
Yes.
It's one of those things that we continue to work on and always look for best solutions.
I think the biggest thing is, again, like what Rob was saying with these people, I mean, try give us as much time notice as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as far as even if you like Munzee Madness 5, like they're already starting to kind of plan that out.
Right.
So, I mean, a year in advance or as far notice as possible, and just try to be, make sure that everything's good, make sure times, I know time zones are a big thing. So putting in MHQ time and verifying and stuff like that.
Yeah, there are so many different pieces, and sometimes everything falls apart, and it is 100% on our end. And,
right. Yes.
And so that is an apology, Richard, to you. My apologies. We've got things going on, and we actually have just now updated the event package. Matt was working on that yesterday for me. It is being sent out now in all the new emails when you add your event to the calendar, and it gets added actually onto the calendar. We send out a new list, and guess what it includes? Eventy. There's an Eventy option, and let's end the podcast with this fun note. If you choose to run an Eventy event at your Munzee event, guess what we're going to give you?
I could only
programmed it, Scott. You know what we're going to give them.
I program stuff all the time.
It's true, you do. It starts with a 5 and it ends with 2 zeros.
$500.
Oh, that's a funny joke. All right, let's end it on that note. Bye, everyone. Yeah, right. 500. The name of your old app.
Oh, points.
500 points. That's right. If you choose,
I had no idea what you're talking about.
Hello, he programmed
Was
it.
this in the notes?
No, it wasn't in the notes. I'm flying now.
Got it. Okay, I thought you had $500. Like
500
can
points.
I put on event?
What we're gonna do is we're not going to tie the live points in Eventy directly to into Munzee, but what we're gonna do is we're going to make it so that if you choose to add an Eventy app, Eventy app package, the event run by Eventy into your Munzee event, then we're going to make it where we transfer 500 points to each person from your event
everyone that participates in the event will have automatically capture a Munzee worth 500 points.
Isn't that fantastic news?
It is fantastic.
Seriously, that right there could break the internet. That's what I'm talking about. That's good news.
Right.
So we're going to leave you with that thought. Obviously, there are always questions. If you've got questions, you can contact us at podcast@munzee.com. All of the
MunzeePodcast.com now.
Munzee Podcast is up. If it has to do with the podcast, contact us at podcast.
True.
At Munzee.com. If it has to do with support, or you have questions, or you have suggestions,
Munzee.com/contact.
You'll find out what you need.
Calendar.munzee.com to see all the events and submit your own event.
Yes. Blog.munzee.com, the final word on all things Munzee. You can check us out on social media. Yep. You know how to find
MunzeeMarketplace.com if you want to come on down. MunzeeMarketplaceCSA.com.
We've got way too many websites and way too many email addresses to list them all. So we really appreciate all of you tuning in. To those of you who are watching us live, we appreciate it. I do apologize that we weren't able to get through to your questions.
There are a lot of questions.
We seriously had enough notes today to fill 30 minutes, so I tried.
Yeah, I mean, we announced a new app. You know that we're officially calling it Z. We kind of talked about 3.0, talked about a bunch of other stuff. So hopefully everyone's awesome with that.
It's been fun, guys. And Dylan, come back to us next week. I know you will because your mom won't be in town. So anyway, Matt says, like me. Go Kentucky. Dylan says, Rock
Chalk Jayhawk.
I was going to say it in a different direction.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have worked.
A&M, Gig'em, and the NIT.
Right.
I think whatever. Better than Texas.
Still playing. All right, everybody. Catch you later.
Bye.